Hello everyone and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the beautiful sign of Taurus for the month of February 2022. As you know, my dear Taurus, this is a general reading, so there will be parts that may not resonate with you. Only take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest for someone else. I've already meditated on the cards, I've already shuffled the cards, and this is a spread that I have for you today. Dear Taurus, in the past position, we have the Ace of Cups, clarified by the Six of Pentacles. In the challenging position, we have the Knight of Cups, clarified by the Three of Swords. In the present position, we have the Ten of Cups, clarified by the Two of Cups. And in the future outcome position, we do have the Hierophant, clarified by the Nine of Wands. Really strong spread. Dear Taurus, let's get right into it. In the past position, we do have the beautiful Ace of Cups, which is a card of a new emotional beginning. It could be that you met someone who had a really strong impact on you, who had a really strong impact on your life as well, where you kind of took on their values and saw the world through their eyes, if you will. But the Ace of Cups could also mean many other things, like experiencing healing and experiencing forgiveness and following your intuition to kind of create more of a stronger alignment between your spiritual side and your heart and your mind, which can be very difficult to achieve. It takes a lot of courage and determination to align those three elements. And it was interesting that you had the Six of Pentacles in the clarifying position, because by following healing, you were able to share, you were able to kind of have that the generosity of your spirit. You were able to kind of give back to many other people. But the Six of Pentacles is all about give and take. It's all about having a really strong balance in your life. And so this combination is really powerful because it's all about following your intuition and sharing with others what you've learned, as well as learning from others. But definitely, this powerful combination created a strong foundation from which you continue to benefit to this day, dear Taurus. Now, in the challenging position, you have a difficult combination, the Knight of Cups with the Three of Swords. With the Knight of Cups in the challenging position, it tells me that a part of you may have felt a little bit overly idealistic about something, where you were not able to see the reality of something, because the Knight of Cups generally is known for wearing the rose glasses, and so sometimes things are not as idealistic as they seem to be. And so the divine here is warning you that you may want to be a little bit more realistic about your goals and things that are generally happening in your life. But more specifically, the Knight of Cups deals with emotions, and so when he appears in the challenging position, he tells us that sometimes, especially during the month of February, and you have to be careful with this, you may find yourself in a situation where you can't really control your emotions, where your emotions kind of try and control you. And this is why I always say meditating is very important, drinking plenty of water is very important, taking walks in nature and grounding yourself is very important, because all those things are given to you in order to control your emotions. That is one of the biggest lessons that we are here on earth, are basically chose to come to earth to learn. We came to learn our emotions, and we came to learn our limitations as well. Emotions can be very complex, very difficult. They can be triggered by many different things. So it is important to stay in control of your emotions, and that means you do have to meditate consistently, because the more you do it, the more it adds up over time. Sometimes we have the Knight of Cups in the challenging position when we're not really following our heart, when we're trying to be more practical and we're ignoring the messages that our heart gives us. And also sometimes the Knight of Cups appears when we have difficulty with intimacy. Intimacy is not sex. Intimacy is having that emotional, intimate connection, being close. Intimacy implies implies closeness, without, the actual sex part, if you will. And a lot of times people prefer to have intimacy, over intercourse, if you will, because it gives them much more satisfaction, that emotional satisfaction that lasts, quite a long time, that creates stability and abundance, in and of itself, if you will. The Knight of Cups here is clarified by the Three of Swords, which, most people interpret as the broken heart. But when you have the Three of Swords in the challenging position, it's actually a good sign, because the swords, the negative aspects of the sword cards kind of becomes minimal, and the positive aspects increase when they appear in the challenging position. But the Three of Swords means that you definitely may have some repressed emotions. You may have some blockage when it comes to grief. You may come across to other people who always smiles and say everything is wonderful and everything is great. You may be really good at masking emotions and kind of not really showing how you feel. It is important to work through that emotional pain and not hide feelings. It doesn't mean that everyone should know your feelings, of course not. But the feelings have to be shared with someone that you may trust, that you may confide in. With the Three of Swords, when it does appear in the challenging position, it could also mean that other people may be too interested in what's happening in your life. And when you have people that meddle in various, aspects of your life, that can also be a little bit heartbreaking and painful, if you will. But the divine here is saying that as long as you work through all the painful kind of emotional blockage and grief, then you will be able to move forward just fine, especially because we do have the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups in the present position. This is a really wonderful combination because the Ten of Cups is all about wishes coming true. We see a really happy family on this card, which is great, but this happy family could mean different things to different people. For some people, it just means inner happiness, where you feel content, where you feel at peace, where you feel like your dreams have realized, or at least, some of them have realized, where you feel like there is hope for the future, there is something to look forward to. Overall, the Ten of Cups is a really wonderful card to have. And of course, in the clarifying position, you have this card of partnership, a card of union, the Two of Cups. It doesn't have to be a romantic union, although for most of you it will mean a romantic union. If you're already with someone, it could mean that your relationship only becomes stronger. But the Two of Cups can mean, a partnership between two friends, or like a business partnership. It could mean a really strong connection that where you feel your emotions are reciprocated. It's a receptive relationship where you take on the feelings of the other person and they take on your feelings, where there is a kind of give and take between two people. Sometimes the Two of Cups means self-love, where you accept yourself as you are, because you're not too old, you're not too young, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's easy to look at other people's lives and compare, how other people are doing, but everyone has their own journey and their own pain and their own, suppressed emotions as well. So everyone is kind of going through things. Sometimes it's not so easy to see because people can be really good at fooling others. People can be really good at, oh, everything's great. Hi, how are you? Oh my God, wonderful. Things are so amazing. But inside, that person can be really struggling with inner turmoil. So it's a reminder not to believe everything at face value, of course. But the Two of Cups is a really wonderful card to have. It's a card that symbolizes a solid connection, a really strong connection with someone in your life that kind of gives you that fulfillment, that contentment, if you will. Now, in the future outcome position, we have an interesting combination because We have the Hierophant Taurus, which is basically you. You represent the Hierophant card. But we, in the clarifying position, have the Nine of Wands, which is a card of resilience, which is a card of standing up for your beliefs. And clearly, the Nine of Wands is a card of feeling exhausted, of feeling like you've already put in so much effort, time after time, and you've been consistent, and where's the reward, if you will, and when is this kind of standing up going to end? Because definitely it would be nice to have a little bit of a break. But if we begin with the Hierophant, that is a major arcana card. The Hierophant represents all the wonderful things that, like, ethical approaches to life and being very kind of morality oriented. So definitely you're standing up here for your beliefs. You're standing your ground. There's something that you really strongly value and you're not willing to step away from it. And so the divine here is bringing the Hierophant to help you. The Hierophant symbolizes that, traditional approach is what you want to do in the month of February, whatever that means to you, because traditions mean different things to different people. But, the Hierophant brings structure and discipline and sort of following the rules. Even though it may be hard, even though other people don't follow the rules and they gain things much faster, Taurus, you are very ethical and you're very moral. You are someone that a lot of people depend on. Without Tauruses, I think the world just wouldn't exist, because Tauruses bring that stability. They bring that security. They bring that abundance by working really hard, by kind of a lot of times staying in the routine, even though people get tired of the routine quite easily. But the Hierophant is very important because he allows each and every one of us to have that spiritual connection with something that is bigger than ourselves, the divine, right? But let's see what we can clarify with the two Shaman Dream Oracle cards that I pulled. And we've got in the hand, the universe is your partner. This is a really very good omen, actually, because the divine here is saying you've got this. You will manifest everything that you need in the month of February and that you want. And it's interesting, you have a tidy house, clarity and organization. I don't think I've ever received this card. But let's start with the in the hand card. It's all about feeling secure and taken care of. Something amazing happens when you contemplate your intimate relationship with your higher power. How do you engage it? Perhaps you might have seen things through the influence of your religious background, or you may have been exposed to other ways of making the connection real for you. It doesn't matter the source of your understanding. What matters is what works for you. For example, if you believe in a punitive God, you will be afraid of punishment. If you believe in a version of higher power that blesses you, you may find it easier to surrender to a relationship of radical trust. Right now, if you imagine relaxing, curled up in the hands of the divine, how does that make you feel? Can you then turn over your needs and desires to the divine power and trust that you're safe and secure and don't have to do anything at all to feel that way? Grace is activated in your life right now. You are in good hands. Your work, your family, your relationships, your home, everything. You've done all you can, so now is the time to rest and recharge instead of producing, doing, acting, strategizing. Go get yourself a hot tea, a good book, and a soft blanket, and allow the universe to take care of the rest. That's absolutely incredible. So the divine is calling on you to take it easy, maybe spend some time healing in the month of February, spend some time taking a time out, recharging, reconnecting, and allow the universe to take care of the rest, because you really, you can't do everything all the time. But the tidy house is all about going through the inventory. If your emotional world feels messy, it's time to see how your environment is affecting you. Although your inner world has a huge impact on what shows up in your outer world, the reverse is also true. You can be influenced by the people you populate your daily life and the energy of the objects you surround yourself with. Now's the time to figure out what is in your environment and what you need to clear. Ask for clarity from your relationships and do not make assumptions. Clear communication is key. You may choose to let go of some people from your life when this shows up. This is a good thing. Otherwise, you might stay in these relationships way too long out of a sense of obligation and social courtesy when in truth there is nothing holding you together. Be impeccable with your word. Say what you mean and be willing to make whatever changes are necessary to clean up your side of the street. If you know you're doing the right thing, it doesn't matter who has an opinion. That said, right now, once you're sure your proverbial house is a tidy one, there's a release of energy to begin new things, to enjoy life, and to know with certainty you are on the right path. So definitely purge from your life anything and anyone that don't serve a purpose to you. And a lot of times that can be a little bit emotionally painful, but overall it will be better. Sometimes it's difficult to say, to detach yourself, if you will, from someone that you've loved for a long time. But they can be very different, and their emotions can be very different, and their emotions can be polluting your environment and triggering your behavior. And you may be distracted by what they want, but the truth is that you chose to come to planet Earth to learn your emotions, to learn your limitations, and to pursue your purpose, your individual, unique, original purpose, rather than being affected by your sister or your brother or your best friend or your neighbor or what you see on TV or on the news or you hear on the radio. Oh, that is popular. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be popular with you if you don't like it. So pursue what makes you feel good, and your tribe will be attracted to that original spirit. You will find your tribe. What is yours cannot be taken away from you. And when I say that, it requires faith, because people then ask, well, how do you know? Maybe you can. Well, have you met such and such? They're very clever. They take away things all the time. It is important to remember to have faith. It is important to remember to have faith in your intuition, in your own individuality. What is yours cannot be taken away from you. What is not yours can be taken away from you. And that's why the Six of Pentacles here is very, very important, because the Six of Pentacles is generosity. You were very generous with your emotions in the past, and the divine has very much noticed that. But one thing is important to remember, that you only truly have what you give away, right? It's not your house, it's not your car, oh, well, I have that. So, that means I'm somebody. The universe doesn't care about your accomplishments. The universe cares about the kindness and the emotions that you've shared with others to make them feel better, because ultimately everything that is here on earth is temporary, right? There is a day that will come where you will transform, back into the original form and go back to the source and go back to the divine, and you will take your knowledge with you, if you will. So that is definitely important to remember, not to be overly focused on things that are temporary, but to be focused on things that truly matter, if you will. But let's see what we can clarify with the two energy oracle cards that I pulled. And we've got the Temple Path, wonderful, and the Healer of the Ages. You definitely will be doing some healing in the month of February, but let's start with the Temple Path, which which is all about your spiritual purpose and support. Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple in a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. So this is really wonderful. This card is here to tell you that what you're going through now is all part of the process, and you were aware of that process. You just don't remember, because when you manifest yourself into this physical form when you're born, you forget. But you are exactly where you need to be. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You are on your karmic path and heading in the right direction. And the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. The lights around the temple represent the spirit world, your family members, friends, angels, guides, all the loving spirit helpers who long to assist you. Call upon them and be open to their wisdom and inspiration. This is a wonderful, life-expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connection. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways, and connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. And of course, Healer of the Ages brings this incredible force of ancient wisdom and profound healing. The light of divine consciousness pours from his hands and heart, flowing to you with love and powerful healing intention. This amazing entity is with you now, bringing resolution to physical, mental, emotional ills, helping unblock this difficult energy. He is healing this difficult energy. You may have felt his strong presence recently, or you may just be opening to the wonderful sensations now. You can call upon this emissary of miraculous transformation whenever you need vitality, balance, or renewal. Know that at the deepest level, an important healing is taking place, which is really powerful, because when important healing takes place, you are able to move forward and achieve more wonderful things that will kind of create a more fulfilled life for you. More contentment will be brought to your life, more dreams that will be realized when you focus on healing, when you focus on not suppressing your emotions, when you focus on like higher intentions, which will definitely bring you closer to your goals and dreams overall. I hope you enjoyed this reading, dear Taurus. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Please don't forget to also visit me on Instagram. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.